the podcast, Even Though I Walk. I'm your host, Steve Mills. This is episode 1, and I had something completely different planned for this one. I was going to share a little bit about my story, a little bit about who I am, how I spent 5 years in a wheelchair as a child, 10 years as a firefighter later on in life, and 22 years as a Navy chaplain. But I'm throwing a change up on you today. You see, today is October 28th, and it's a very special day for me. It's my oldest sister's birthday. It's also my mother-in-law's birthday, so happy birthday, Janice. But it's also the first birthday without my sister. She passed away earlier this year. And in order to continue to honor her memory and legacy and celebrate her life, I want to share a little bit about her today. She was an amazing woman. She was generous. She was faithful, fiery, feisty. I'd rather face a pack of rabid wild dogs in a dark alley than face off with her. If you know her, you know that's exactly true. The last time I saw her was earlier this year in late April. I was able to spend a few days with her, and we laughed and we cried, and she told me stories of our childhood. We watched a movie, A Man Called Otto. And I don't know if that's the right movie to watch when you know that your sister is dying of cancer, but then again, maybe it is. It paralleled her life in so many ways. We also watched the Food Network. We both have a love for cooking, and we would trade recipes and talk techniques, and she would remind me of recipes that we grew up as kids. And we started talking about chicken and dumplings, and it had been years, probably decades, since I'd had chicken and dumplings. And so here's this 90-pound, maybe 5-foot ball of fire who said, let's make chicken and dumplings. And I said, okay. She made it from scratch, except the chicken. We got the rotisserie chicken from a store, but I'll give her a pass on that. In the kitchen, I took the chicken off the bones, and she made the dumplings and all the stuff, and we just had a great time laughing and cooking together. That was very special to me. A few years ago, before I deployed to Afghanistan in September of 2013, she cooked me a Thanksgiving meal, knowing that I would be gone and would not be celebrating with my immediate family that year. Phyllis was continually doing things for others. So much so, we have no idea how much she gave, how much she served, how much she loved. But we know that she had a generous heart. And I'd like to share the message that I delivered at her celebration of life this past June. The difficulty with death is that it hurts so much. It's a finality we just can't take back. With death, there is pain that touches, affects us to our core. The reason it hurts so much is because there is such a deep level of love, a depth of care, a sense of togetherness. Experiencing the pain of losing someone is really a gift. In that, the pain tells us how much we love someone. As we embrace the pain of death, let us also embrace the gift and joy of love we have for Phyllis, for those that you've lost. One of the last conversations we had, she said, well, we've had a good run, haven't we? And I said, yes, Phyllis, we have. I shared with her the verse from the Bible, Hebrews 12:1 and 2. Therefore, since we have so great a cloud of witnesses surrounding us, let us also lay aside every encumbrance and the sin which so easily entangles us. And let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of God. Phyllis's life was not an easy one. She endured a lot. She beat breast cancer a number of years ago, and she fought pancreatic cancer until the very end. Phyllis was one of the toughest people I know. Her tenacity was unrivaled. If you know her at all, she was soft-spoken, quiet, and didn't share her opinion often. Oh, that's not her at all. I don't think she had an unspoken thought. She ran the race of life with endurance, and she did indeed keep her eyes on the author and perfecter of her faith. Yeah, she had a good run. Jesus was her everything, and she loved him to no end as he surrounded her with his grace, love, and mercy. To my siblings, our sister loved and cared for us deeply and greatly. The stories we could tell about our childhood center around our big sister. She was our caretaker, surrogate mom, and sometimes a pain in the, well, you know. Make no mistake, only her love for Christ exceeded her love and care for us. When Mom died, she was there to take care of us, and when Dad died, she was right there for us as well. While she may not be here on this earth, she's right here with us in our hearts. To her boys, daughters-in-law, and granddaughters, she loved you with a fierce love. We talked, and she shared with me how very proud she was of you and your families. She watched the two of you grow up into manhood, become husbands and dads. You gave her 7 beautiful granddaughters. Her greatest prayer for you is that you continue to walk in the grace, mercy, and love of Christ. Phyllis described that she had a two-fisted faith. On one hand, God could heal her in an instant, but on the other hand, he would give her the strength to carry on until the very end. And I would say God did heal her. When she closed her eyes here in pain, an instant later, she opened them not just pain-free, but even more so in the complete and perfect presence of Christ, the author and perfecter of her faith, that I am certain she heard these words, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of the Lord today." When we were kids, as we were getting ready to go to school, our mom would often yell out, "Bye, I love you, be careful, and come straight home." That last part was for my other brothers and sisters, certainly not for me, because I would always come straight home, except for that 1 or 10 times. The last time Phyllis and I spoke, I asked her, I said, "What do you want me to say? What do you want to say to your family and friends?" And she sat back and thought for a moment. And she said, "I suppose if I could tell them one last thing, it would be, bye. I love you. Be careful and come straight home." Those words resonate with me to this day. Phyllis's influence in my life is unequaled. Her love and care and compassion. And if you know her at all, you know exactly what I'm talking about. She would fight for anybody. She would stand up for anyone. She loved fiercely and deeply. Now, I don't know about you, but today, October 28th, I'm going to declare Chicken and Dumplings Day. And I'm going to go find some chicken and dumplings. Bye. I love you. Be careful. Come straight home. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Hit the bell for when new episodes come out, typically about once a week. Also, if you're interested in one of these Even Though I Walk coffee mugs, shoot me a message in the comments, and I will get in touch with you about how you can get one of these. Take care. Oh, be kind, be gracious, and keep walking.